want to make one remark before we begin the homily, lest I forget after Mass, and that is a greeting to the folks who are at home joining us from your living rooms and so forth. It is very touching to us that you are here with us in this way. You could be doing all kinds of other things in your home or in your backyard, but you decided to spend this hour with us, and we feel that we are together with you, so thank you for doing that. Okay, I mentioned those numbers, 5, 4, 54. St. Luke wants us to understand the role of the Spirit in everything spiritual as he sees it. And you know the Pentecost story is from St. Luke, the Acts of the Apostles. Out of all of the things we could do, we're going to do this. 5 little scenes. I'm not going to develop any of them. Just shine a flashlight on 5 different scenes. 3 of them are from St. Luke's Acts of the Apostles. And 2 of them are contemporary. This one is all over the world, the pandemonium, and this one is Minnesota. Now, 5 things, we have to remember 5 things? No. Just one thing, because there's a golden thread. All of these stories are different from one another, but there's a golden thread through each of them. Maybe you can catch it before I mention it. A golden thread like in a cloth. You know, oh, it surfaces, and then it surfaces again. Oh, and here it is again. A stitch, you can see the gold. Let's start with the first one, the Pentecost story. The disciples were not profiles in courage at this point. They were hiding away and saying some prayers, I guess. When suddenly the Holy Spirit had a plan, and they did not pray what you call the Holy Spirit. They didn't know it was the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit surprised them, rushed in upon them, and boy, did it change their conduct. No longer locking the door, but outside the door, preaching, and fires appeared, and sounds, and wind, and all of that. And here's our word. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit. Come with me to the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 8. Philip and this Ethiopian something or other who worked in the palace in Ethiopia. He must have been Jewish because he had come to Jerusalem for the festival. And now he was going back home. Meanwhile, Philip has got some plans for the afternoon, who knows what. And somebody, an angel or something, said, get yourself down to the road that goes out to Gaza. What? No, you just do it. Change your plans, do it. And then when he gets there, he sees a chariot with this figure going back to Ethiopia, to the court. He worked for the queen, and oh my goodness, here's the Holy Spirit. Said to Philip, you catch up with that chariot. You know the story, I don't have to say it. The man in the chariot was reading from the prophet Isaiah, what's this all about? And there's this big conversation. And lo and behold, he is baptized in a pool or something before he gets any farther on his way to Ethiopia. Then this, the Holy Spirit snatched Philip away, and the Ethiopian saw him no more. So Philip got surprised by being sent there, and the Ethiopian got surprised when he was gone. Mission accomplished. You don't need me. Scene number 3. St. Peter and Cornelius. We are now in Acts of the Apostles, chapter 10. St. Peter is a very devout Jewish Christian, and he is happy to be a follower of the Lord, but he has got the Jewish mentality that everybody had at that point. This whole thing is a part of the Hebrew Bible. It's part of the expectation. This is a Jewish matter. The Messiah is fulfilling the Hebrew Bible, and he's a part of the Jewish plan of salvation, or God's plan of salvation. This is a Jewish affair. And then, and I'm summarizing, he gets these signals, no. And then a Gentile sends a servant, tell Peter to come to see me. And St. Peter says, well, Jesus' thing is a Jewish thing. You are pagans. You are Gentiles. And while he's talking, here's our Spirit. The Spirit said to Philip, go join up with... I'm sorry, that's Ethiopian. Here we are. The Spirit fell upon the Gentiles. At this point, Peter still thinks Jesus is a Jewish affair, and the Spirit landed upon these pagans. Who could have foretold? And the Jews who were with Peter were also astonished that the Holy Spirit came down upon the Gentiles. That's 3 of the 5. The other 2 are contemporary. Let me at this point tell you the golden thread, which you've already figured out. Not the Holy Spirit, but surprise, surprise, surprise. Pentecost, these people were hiding. They had no expectation that the Spirit was going to change their plans. Philip had other things to do that afternoon until the Holy Spirit said, guess what? And St. Peter was out there, but not to see the Gentiles. He was out there for other reasons. And the Holy Spirit said, guess what? I got some surprises for you. That's the golden thread I want to point out today about the narratives. Narrative after narrative after narrative after narrative after narrative about the Holy Spirit in St. Luke. He, she, the Holy Spirit ambushes people. There's no announcement like we've got posters all over. There's no announcement that's saying the Holy Spirit will be here at 7 o'clock. No. Doesn't go like that. The Holy Spirit comes when and where and to whom the Spirit wants. And it's never meant to be a barren visit. In each of these situations, there was a new blessing, yes, but also new circumstances which required some new insight. There was challenge, upsetting the apple cart a little bit from the comfortable expectations. New directions had to be established, new plans, new priorities. And dare I say, new obligations. That's what happens when the Holy Spirit comes, when the Holy Spirit chooses to come. New priorities, new insights, new challenges, sometimes new obligations. C number 4. Pandemic. 6 months ago, did you know that the whole world was going to be shut down today? With our faith, we know that somehow or other the Holy Spirit is embedded in this event. Somehow or other, the Holy Spirit. I'm not saying the Holy Spirit caused the pandemonium, the pandemic, rather. I'm not saying the Holy Spirit caused the coronavirus. Don't put that out. But somehow, it having happened, the Holy Spirit is in the midst of this and expects from the likes of us who believe in this Holy Spirit that we somehow or other make our way through this with a new attitude, new insights, new appreciations, new priorities, new obligations. Final scene, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm not going to say anything about it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And again, as I said about the pandemic, it's not the Holy Spirit who let anybody put his knee on anybody else's neck. And it is not the Holy Spirit who let anybody feel like Bill was on fire. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that we got caught by another surprise. Who expected this? But it's here. And with our faith, amid the surprise, the Spirit. And again, when the Spirit pushes us to experience something as deep as this, the experience is not meant to be barren. Because of Minneapolis, Minnesota, right now, we have to make our way through this with the Holy Spirit with some new insight. Some new attitudes maybe. There certainly is new challenge. New priorities perhaps. Maybe new obligations.